And there we go. Rebooted the mic and I see my meters. Ozone Nightmare. Yeah, you're right. A lot of times it is just you, dude, when it comes to crazy stuff happening in live streams. You said so my audio is low? You sure about that? Mic check 1, 2. I can push it over here. How's that? Mic check 1, 2. Of course, never mind. Anyways, good to see you all. Look at this dude. He had his volume down. Jeez, come on, dude. Yeah, I think I need to add to my checklist when I do these things to reboot my mic interface. Or maybe I just need to start turning it off because I usually just leave it running and mute it when I leave. I'll leave it on and then I just hit the mute button on there. So nothing's picking up private conversations and stuff like that. But yeah, all good. So I'm just going to add that to my workflow now so I don't have to worry about rebooting it every daggum time that I go on air. Oh gosh. Yeah, the thing about audio levels, man, you know, I can't remember inside of DaVinci Resolve when it comes to audio levels in video that you're going to put up on YouTube. But inside of Premiere has all of the settings in there right there, the export settings right there for you that are optimized for YouTube, be it the video, codec and bitrate, and the audio levels and so forth. And I don't know why people's videos are such a mess when it comes to leveling out and fixing the audio side of things. And especially if you're someone that's been creating for a long time, by now you should know that you want to be at like minus 16 LUFS from your audio, period. But, you know, not everybody pays attention to those details, I guess. Who knows? It's crazy. If y'all have any questions, feel free to pop him here in the live chat. Thank y'all for being here. And I shall answer the questions if I can. And I see a comment from Joe Esposito, and he says, that's also known as Ozone Nightmare. It says, I just tried out enhanced audio last week. I did my first long form video and used a lav mic and it sounded like crap. So I had to play with it. Yeah, an enhanced video does a decent job. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be great and perfect, but it does a decent job fixing crappy audio, for real. I mean, it gets you a lot closer, you know, than by doing just one click. It gets you a lot closer than having to battle with all of the sliders inside of the equalizer and noise gate and stuff like that. So yeah, and that does a pretty good job inside of Adobe. Someone asks, am I off today? I'm always off because I'm a self-employed person and not and I only do the janitor stuff like 2 nights a week. So yeah, but I pretty much consider myself always off because I don't have anything steady Eddie going on. You know what I mean? Fix this camera. That's too much headroom. There we go. That feels better there to me. And yeah, unfortunately, you're looking at my webcam. Not that my webcam looks bad. It still looks good because I got decent lighting. But I didn't fire up my typical Canon camera that I use for these things because it needs a firmware update. Well, it doesn't need a firmware update, but a new firmware came out for it from the video side of things. I don't necessarily need to do it, but whenever stuff like that gets released, I try to make sure to go ahead and update it and keep everything running smoothly. Because if something goes wrong and I have to, talk to their support team, the first thing they're going to ask is, what firmware are you running on it? And if you say, well, I'm running the old version, it lets them off the hook automatically. Well, you're not running the latest firmware. We can't help you, so. And that's not just Canon. That's all tech support stuff when it comes to having your software up to date. A lot of them will just get off the hook and say, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to work with you because you're not even running our latest software. So someone asked what my t-shirt says, and it is an old t-shirt. Let me move the mic. That is BABBQ, which is short for Big Android Barbecue. I got this shirt, I don't know how many years ago, but this is an old shirt, and it even has their logo right there. See? Big Android Barbecue. I went to that. I attended it one time. It was in Hurst, Texas. I can't remember the year. I'm thinking roughly 2013, 2014. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago. And it was a pretty cool event. It's a lot more nerdy than someone like me because it was a bit of a developer conference. I'm not a developer. I don't care about stuff like that. But I went out there to cover it for somebody. I don't remember who I was writing for, but I was covering it for somebody. So I went out there. And I had a good time, met a lot of people, met a lot of Android people, a lot of Android press and stuff like that. It was a good time. And I remember, the main thing I remember is having Tex-Mex out there for the first time in my life. And holy crap, it was so dadgum good. It was so good. That was also my first time having In-N-Out too. Totally random comment, sorry. Oh, I see a super chat that's popped up in here. Hey, he says, I did a short episode the other day about supporter guilt, meaning this pressure I feel to try to boost others as much as possible. Do you have, what are you saying? Do you have that, or is this just my leftover Catholicism? Okay, let's talk about that. And that comes from Joe in Ozone Nightmare. Thank you for the super chat, $10 super chat. I really do appreciate that. So wow, that's a good question. The pressure of supporter guilt. And this world today, man, we have, especially when it comes to things being on the internet, there's this weird notion that society has created, and that society has just totally accepted, that if it's on the internet, it is free, period. And I don't even know why that is. I know and talk to a lot of people in the open source community, a lot of people in the free and open source community, the FOSS community. And yes, they believe that something should be free, but not now. One of them think that, that everything should be free. Some things, yeah, you can get for free, but not everything. But I don't know where this weird notion comes from that if you see it on the internet, it is free, period. Be it pictures, be it video, movies, whatever. People just assume it's free. And I don't agree with that. Because especially since I've been wearing these shoes as a creator, I know the work that goes into it. I know that creator had to buy this webcam. Okay. They had to buy that webcam. They had to spend some time doing some research on the subject matter that they're presenting to you, that you are consuming for free, and hopefully you're getting something out of it. You know, they had to buy other stuff, and it's a lot of cost that goes into it. And they're literally working, doing the job. And since they're working, shouldn't they be paid for it? You know? And so what happens is, this is when you get into the sponsor side of things and the advertiser side of things, because they will pay for the creator's efforts and allow it to be free, quote unquote, free to the viewers, if you will. You know, you turn on your favorite television show on over-the-air television. You're not paying for that over-the-air. You're just paying for your antenna to receive it, which was a one-time cost. But then as you're watching that content, you're going to watch commercials every 10 minutes or so, or every 15 minutes or so. You're going to watch at least 90 seconds of commercials. And that's to help pay for that content. And that's to help pay for the people creating that content, and amongst other things. Okay. So as far as the creator guilt, I am of the mind that if I'm watching some content, I will do a tip. I will do a Patreon. Because I know what goes into it. You know, if I'm watching Netflix, I'm not going to tip Netflix because I'm paying a monthly subscription, and they are supposed to be doing what they need to do to make sure all of the actors and crew and whatnot get their money, you know. And then even when it comes to YouTube, every now and then I'll do the super chats and super tips and things like that. But I pay for YouTube Premium because a portion of my YouTube Premium payment each month, one portion goes to Google and YouTube, another portion goes to the creators, because when they run ads on their video, they get some revenue. But I'm paying not to see the ads, so they take a portion of my monthly payment and give it to the creators. I go through my YouTube invoices every month, and I see where people that are on YouTube Premium, some of that comes in. It's a lot. It's not as many people as I assume, but it's cool to see that, yeah, people that are not wanting to see ads still bring in revenue for the creators. So yeah. If I'm seeing it on the internet, I do my best to support it financially because I've been there, you know, and I'm still there. So that's a good question, Joe. Thank you. Another one in here, John Janeway says, "Hey, Ant, good to see you back making videos. Watched the last office hours and enjoying it." Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you. Hadn't seen that name in a while. Thank you. Have you been to Bakersfield? I've been through Bakersfield, driven through it, but that's about it. Ozone Nightmare says, "So you wouldn't agree with Microsoft AI exec who said anything on the web is fair use via social contract? We apparently all that's bullshit. Fair use is a whole different subject. Okay, fair use is a whole different subject. So let's dive into that right there. Previously on my podcast, Everyday People, I spoke about Black Barbie, and on said podcast, it is a video version of the podcast as well as audio version. I spoke about Black Barbie, and as part of our B-roll, I pulled up the Netflix trailer and had it playing in the background with the video overlay of Queen Pruitt and I discussing it, you know, because I thought visually it would make sense, and I thought it would also help raise more awareness to get people to go check out the daggum documentary, because it's pretty good. I don't care if you're black, white, or whatever. It is a fascinating documentary. It's called Black Barbie. It's on Netflix right now, and it's by Shonda Rhimes, a prolific writer, done some amazing shows. So after that video was published, the next day, I get a copyright notice from YouTube, and it says, the content rights owner said, "Hey, you need to take this video down." No, I believe it said you cannot monetize this video, and we're not going to give you a copyright strike, but you can't monetize this video now. And I'm like, oh, no, that's bullshit, because what I'm doing is fair use. I am reporting on the piece of content that I saw. I led the people to the documentary. I put links in the show description of how you can get to it. It's all fair use. This is part of anyone reporting the news, if you will. They're reporting the facts of the matter. So I appealed it. I put all of that information into my appeal, and I marked it, yes, fair use. And they eventually got back to me a couple days later. Okay, my bad. You're good to go. So yeah, there are times when fair use is legit. But what this Microsoft cat is talking about, that's bullshit. I'm not buying that. No. Good point. Sorry, I gotta calm down, y'all. I've been a bit emotional for a little while now, so I'm trying to keep myself just even and trying not to get as ragey and ranty. Trying to find center. And speaking of that, y'all, a good trick. If something just makes you mad in the middle of your day, something just totally bizarre and it's beyond your control, and you want to just throw a stick at it or something out of rage, don't do that. Try this. Take a look at that situation as it's happening. Take a deep breath. And then smile. Straight up smile. And it's amazing how things work chemically with our bodies. All right. I've been doing that more, and it definitely helps take the edge off. And it definitely helps me to just step back and be like, all right, dude, you'll be okay. It'll be okay. Move on. So try that out. Ozone Nightmare says, whoops, why I keep clicking that? There we go. It says, I know the feeling. I'm trying not to rant too much on my live streams, but it's been bleeding through a bit. I got to get on this meditation train. Yeah, Ozone Nightmare does some pretty cool drawing live on YouTube and the other platforms. So make sure you're subscribed there. I believe it's at Ozone Nightmare Foundry. I believe it's Ozone Nightmare Foundry. Something like that. Put your URL here in the live chat, man. You know what I'm saying? And John Janeway says, that works. I also add going for a walk usually helps. Yeah, I do that too. I've gotten to the point now, since I'm in my home office most of the time, I've gotten to the point now, I'll just go outside. Instead of taking a long walk, I literally will go outside barefoot and just put my feet on the grass. Just put my feet on even if it's on the pavement, if it's on the sidewalk, if it's on the grass, I need my feet to be touching the earth and just take it in. And there's something about that connection, man. It really does help just pull me back, grounding. That is it. Grounding. Exactly. It definitely helps. And I've had to do that a lot more here recently in the last 90 days than I used to, but I'm okay with that because life happens. You know what I'm saying? It's really good to see y'all in here and good to chat with you. I really, really do appreciate that, especially considering I didn't plan on being here live on air today. But thank y'all for being here. I got errands to do today. I need to go. You know what's weird? This is something most people don't say nowadays is, I got to go to the bank. And I say that fairly regularly. Is that normal? I don't think it's normal for most people, but I literally have to go to the bank today because I have to either go put a deposit in. Usually is I got to put money in, checks. I got to put them into the bank or what have you. Because sometimes you can do the whole scan the check with your phone and it'll work. But I've been having a lot of issues with some of these checks that have come to me from different people, vendors, or what have you. It always gives me some weird red flag. So I'm better off just going to the bank. Especially when you're working with a client or a company that's in a different region, so their bank is going to be Bank of Small Town USA in the Northeast that nobody's ever heard of. And it's a legit bank, but for whatever reason, the ACH stuff just tells it, no, hold on, let us look at that a little bit closer. But whenever I go in and take those checks, it tends to be quite all right. So yeah, I got to go to the bank today to make deposits so I can pay some bills and stuff like that. Yeah, just regular life stuff. Regular life stuff. I went to DMV last week and only got half of my DMV tasks done because the wait was forever. So I was going to the DMV because I needed to pay the taxes on my car, as well as change the address and get a real ID for my driver's license because I didn't have a real ID. I didn't get a real ID when I moved out here because I have a passport. And I was like, I don't worry about it because I always carry my passport when I travel. But I decided to go ahead and do a real ID. So I went over there to do my DMV duties last week, right after I got off of creator office hours. Got in the line and the attendant was like, well, is your license about to expire? And I said, no, I'm good on that. And he says, well, we're going to just put that off for another day because the line just to change your address and get a real ID is 3 hours long. So he said, we're going to let you pay your taxes because that line is only 2 hours long. So I would have been there 5 freaking hours to do that. But I ended up being in there about 2.5, almost 3 hours with everything. Fortunately, I've learned over the years that if you go to the DMV, take some earbuds with you, headphones or what have you, and just fire up an audiobook, fire up a podcast or something like that while you wait, Ozone Nightmare says, seems like bank lines are less horrific now that most people either use the app or bank kiosks. Hasn't eliminated waiting, but definitely seems better if you get early enough and not on a Friday. Yeah, the kiosks. Yeah, I noticed those in there too, and I barely use it. I use it every now and then, just for a quick ATM cash kind of thing. But most of the time, I want to talk to an actual teller. And what I appreciate about one of the banks that I go to, because I don't keep all my money in one bank. Boy, have I learned that lesson. One of the banks I go to, they know my name when I walk up in that joint, and it's pretty cool. I hardly ever know their names. I do know that one of the tellers watches my show, and it's really cool. She's like, you guys are really good. And I'm like, oh, damn, you watch the show? So yeah, I don't mind going in there. Jane Johnway says, oh yeah, DMV is terrible these days. Yeah, I had no idea. And I thought with DMV, there could be so much more that we could do online, self-service. And it always works out that the stuff that I need, I have to go in. The only reason I had to go in for the taxes is because they were late. If the taxes wasn't late, I would have been able to do it online. And they were late for obvious reasons. But they're not delinquent anymore. They are paid now. Mercy. So I can ride around free and clear. Clean license, clean taxes, all that good stuff. Right. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? Thank y'all for being here. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button inside of YouTube to help boost the signal. And also, if you're interested in being a part of my Patreon community, that is available as well at patreon.com/AntPruitt. That's patreon.com/AntPruitt. I do post content in there and items in there. And I do plan on doing something for those paid members inside of Patreon in the future, something regular like this office hours, but just strictly for them. And I'll do it over Zoom and stuff like that, you know. But we'll see. I need to work out the details, and I need to get life back to a little bit more normal timing and stuff. Live chat says, this is from Ozone Nightmare. Any bites on your canning appeal? Appeal meaning tell them to just hire you already. Okay. Let me see. How can I do this here? I got an idea. So I will say, I'm going to show you on the screen, folks. So recently, I was watching I was just doing my normal YouTube run through. I watch a lot of YouTube content. I watch so much more YouTube content than regular television content, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. And so Canon has started doing this, their own little podcast. Canon, as in the Canon camera people and printers and all of that stuff. They started doing their own podcast. And I'm watching this podcast, and I had some thoughts on it. I'm not going to say exactly what my thoughts were, but the gist of my thoughts were, you know what, Canon, heck, y'all could hire me to do that. So what I did is I ended up posting to them on X, as well as on Threads, and also on LinkedIn. And I said, hey, my beloved Canon team, I'd love to host your unscripted podcast featuring your EOLs. EOLs is the Canon Explorers of Light, like their ambassadors, if you will. I'd love to do this. I'd love to host this. I've actually interviewed a few of your EOLs previously. Let's chat. And I said, thank you. And then I put in here some of the things that they could check out, because right here, Loretta Houston is one of their EOLs, Canon Explorers of Light ambassadors. And I interviewed her a couple of years ago, and I loved it. As a matter of fact, I think the interview went so well that she has been in touch with me ever since, you know? So I'm like, if I can do that and make some type of impression, not only on the photographers, maybe I'll make an impression on the listeners or viewers of said podcast. So I'm like, I could do that gig, you know? So, hey, give me a shout, Canon. And I reached out to them, and I got a lot of, I asked my community, hey, signal boost the shit out of this. Just retweet it, repost it, whatever, reshare it. Just signal boost this thing, you know, because I'm serious. I could do that gig. And I did hear back from one person in Canon PR. I can't say everything that they said. But I will say that one person in PR said that they will try to push someone's buttons regarding me. And that's it. That's all they can do. They can't promise anything, but they said they will try. And I appreciate that, because that's all I ask. And, you know, like I said, they explained a lot of stuff to me that's privy to Canon staff, and I get it, you know, but I just appreciate them trying. So yeah, that's the deal. That's the deal. So we shall see. I'm not gonna hold my breath on it, but we shall see, because I think I could do that dadgum job without a problem, you know. But yeah, that came up. That came up on the show too, because Loretta Houston, that person that I was just talking about, she not emailed me. She messaged me on one of the social media apps a couple of days ago. And she literally just said, "Hey, are you okay? You've been on my mind. I need to check on you." And it was the perfect time. It was the perfect time, you know. Well, actually, the message is like, "Hey, are you around?" And I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Can I call you?" And so she called me through the little video portion of the messaging app. And I was like, "Yeah, cool. Just, yeah, what's up?" And so when the video opens up, it was good to see her. And she was like, "Are you okay? You've been on my mind. I want to check on you." And it was just the perfect timing. And it really hit me right in the heart, because she got her own shit to do, man. I mean, she freaking photographed Tyra Banks and all these other celebrities and stuff. I mean, she got her own shit to do. But yet at the same time, I crossed her mind, and I am so grateful for that. And yeah. So thank you, Loretta Houston. As a matter of fact, we're going to put her website right here in the chat so y'all can go check her out. LorettaHouston.com. She's freaking awesome photographer and a great person. I'm really grateful for her friendship. Got some messages coming in from the chat. Ozone Nightmare said, "That's great. Thank you." John Janeway says, "Good stuff, Ant. Thank you. Ozone Nightmare. Also related, but not related. I love that Canon has kept their word logo the same over time. Timeless and immediately identifiable. These things matter to design nerds who love good logos." Ooh, boy, I have some thoughts on that, because, yeah, we'll get in that here in a second. Let me finish these here. "You're well educated to work somewhere else." Yeah, you're right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's why I apply. I'm like, shit, I can do this. You know? Demancy says he agrees with you, Ozone Nightmare. Good to see you, Demancy. That the Canon logo, and it's nice to see that it's been so consistent, but then you're going to have some exceptions to the rule. For example, you got Apple. Okay, so let me see. Can I do this with Apple? I'll just share my screen over the years. Let's see. Here we go. So there's my screen. So you got Apple. This right here. It's, yeah, they're different, but they're the same. You know what I mean? And so regardless, whenever you see that, you're working with or dealing with Apple. They've been fairly consistent on that. Canon hasn't changed squat. Now, on the other hand, there's one logo that truly makes me cringe, and it is the folks at Kia. Bless their heart. What the hell happened, Kia? Have you ever seen this logo right here on the car? It looks like KN. It looks like, I don't know. It does not look like Kia. It just, you see these cars going down the road and you're like, ooh, what kind of car is that? Is that a KN? So you go to KN.com or KN cars and you find squat. And you're totally missing out. But the Kia logo, it used to be very simple, like this one here. Can I zoom in on that? Let's see. See that? It used to just be KIA. Simple, easy, straightforward. So I'm not sure what they were thinking and someone's like, ooh, let's shake things up. Well, you shook things up and it spilled all over the damn place. It didn't stay in the bowl. It's just that it just, oh, it hurts me. It hurts my feelings for Kia that's how they're rolling. I get people wanting to reinvent the stuff for their brand and rebrand. I get that, but you still don't want to lose the messaging of yourself, the messaging of who you are. FedEx is another one that did a great job. They used to be called Federal Express. You know how annoying it is to say, I need to ship something Federal Express? What they said, you know what? No, forget that. We're just going to be FedEx now. FedEx logo over the years. Let's see how that pulls up. Yeah. They used to be Federal Express, and they decided to do a whole rebrand, and it's now just FedEx. And when someone says FedEx, what the hell it means. This thing, on the other hand, I don't know what that is. Let's see. Open link in new tab. Does that work? Nope, that didn't work. I just don't know what that is, Kia. Images. Logo. There we go. That looks better. That still almost looks like Kia. I mean, people get stylized the A and whatnot. But this joint right here, what the hell is that? That looks like K. Or it makes me think of 9 Inch Nails. You know what I mean? Remember that band, 9 Inch Nails? Do they still exist? Oh, gosh. I see chats coming in here. Apple logo was best with 6-color version. Photoshop logo peaked in the CS years, in my view. And yeah, the new Kia logo is garbage. Oh, my niece is up in the house. Good to see you, dear. She says, I want to record, but give it the camcorder of the 90s feel. Should I purchase an old camcorder or just edit? Oh, that's easy. You record like you want to record, and then you can fix that. You can add that look and feel in post. That's real easy. That's filters. That's filters and color grading. Really easy. And I got tools for that. So let me know. My opinion, start with the filter because you're going to likely have some setup work in the camcorder working already. Unless you really want to say, yes, I'm using a camcorder. Right. Yeah. Correct, Ozone. You are correct. Yeah, just shoot. You can shoot it with your daggum iPhone or Samsung phone or whatever you have. Throw it into Premiere Pro, or in the case that I'm thinking of, I would throw it into DaVinci Resolve. There's so many freaking tools in there. Do I have some examples of me using a more film cinematic look here with my content? I believe I have. So let me pull something up. I think it was with some stuff that I did with my boy. Let's see. Let's go to my playlist. And I think I have a Hardheads playlist here inside of YouTube somewhere. I thought. Damn, do I not? Or they are so lucky that I don't. Oh, there it is. View playlist. Oh, but the video I'm thinking of is not in there. Hold on. This is outstanding radio. I know, y'all. All of the silences. Oh, even this video. This brand photo shoot. And I'm probably going to get a takedown notice, right? No, I'm not. So let's do screen share. This video right here, I shot it with my Blackmagic 6K, but this has a Kodak film emulation applied to it. Now, granted, you can still see that it's digital. You can see that it's high resolution because you can see the freaking pores on the back of his neck there. But at the same time, it has a little bit of fade to it. And it has that characteristic warm color to it. See, now that's a picture, so that doesn't count. But the video, it has that film warm look that Kodak film typically has. Because otherwise, it would have looked more like this picture. It would have looked more like that, That's Rec 709, same vibrant colors, so on and so forth. You see the difference? Like look at the blues here in the hat versus look at the blue in the hat right there. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of tools inside of DaVinci Resolve that I use quite regularly for video, and it just looks good. That Kodak LUT looks good. And then there's this one here. Scroll too far. I scrolled too far. This video here, I used a Fujifilm LUT. And again, I shot this with a 6K camera, but it has the digital, it has the film characteristics to it. The way the skin tones look, the way the highlights look. Let me get, yeah, so you can really see it when it gets dark. Like look at how the lights are looking here, how they're portrayed. He knocked that boy's helmet off when he tried to tackle him. I love that. And this is one of my favorite shots too. Poor number 6 had no shot. Bless his heart. 44 had no shot. Bless his heart. He had no shot. Oh man, live chat comes in here. I'm doing this exact thing in editing right now, giving the video an old static and scan lines. Looks way easier using a couple of filters, and it gives you the ability to tweak. Yeah, it's just some sliders, and you can really play around with it. And also, you can spend too much time in it. So there's that whole rule of make sure you walk away for a few minutes, because man, we can really push it, you know. She asked, do I have videos on your channel of how to do that? I believe I do. I think I do. Damn, now I gotta look. 'Cause I've done so many daggum videos with color grading and stuff like that. Do I? Wow. Oh, I know what. I don't have them on my channel, but I do remember doing a color grading one on hands-on photography for Pruitt, which that show is canceled, but the videos are still readily available. And I can scroll through here. So let's see. Scroll through here. Well, it was loading. There they are. All right, so this is using color to tell your story. Yeah, there's stuff like that here already. And they're on YouTube. So if I click the YouTube button, there we are. Videos. Changing the color of anything. I know I did one that said color grading, because people were confusing color correction with color grading. It's two different things. Let's see. Damn. Video scopes. Wow. Int. Video basics. There we go. So we're getting closer. Color correcting. There we go. Getting closer. There it is. Color grading is right there. Boom. So I will pause that and hit share. And I'm going to copy that and I'm going to stick it right here in the chat. Right there. And you can like mark it as a favorites or something like that. Or mark it as watch later. That's what I like to do inside of YouTube. There's a lot of times you have something going on busy wise, but you really want to watch that video, and YouTube has a feature that says watch later, and it'll save it into a queue for you. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's time to get out of here. I was on Nightmare. I'm with you. I'm right behind you. Thank you again for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate all the love and all of the support. does mean a lot to this creator at large still looking for work. Again, be sure to share these videos with everybody and spread the word. And if you're interested in joining the Patreon community, you can do so by going to patreon.com/AntPruitt. And also, hey, do me a favor, do me a solid. Amazon Prime Day is coming up, and I have an Amazon affiliate. If you guys would just go to antpruitt.com/Amazon and do your Amazon shopping there, I will get a couple pennies commission every time y'all buy something. And I'll tell you, every little bit helps. So go to antpruitt.com/Amazon and do your Amazon shopping there. It doesn't change your pricing, especially Prime Day's coming up too. They're going to have all kind of deals and whatnot. So go ahead and check that out. I'll put the link here in the chat as well. antpruitt.com/Amazon. That will get you to, it'll be just a regular Amazon page, but it'll say, hey, Aunt Pruitt sent him here, so let's send him a couple pennies every time and it's literally a couple pennies. All right, thank y'all again. Hey, remember to do something nice for yourself and do something nice for someone else. And please, please, please know and accept the fact that it is okay for you to love you some you. Y'all take it easy, and I'll see you later.